My name is Angela.
My name is Nicole.
And welcome to the Ominous Stitch podcast. Hello, Stitchers!
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the Ominous Stitch podcast.
Amazing.
Take like 4
Yay.
stitches because you keep saying it. Yeah.
We're just so happy.
I know. I love how our opening is like very serious. And then the first thing you hear from us is like, ah!
And laughter. And
That's
just us.
It is just us.
We're all over the place.
But today's topic is so scary for me.
Really spooky.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could do this, and I did it. And I it's hard.
I know. I'm like kind of dreading it, but like also excited for it.
I feel you.
It's like when you're going into a haunted house, like
The anticipation.
not like a real haunted house, but like
real one.
where they
The
jump
one that
out
they
of the
jump out
corners.
jump
Yeah.
scares,
I
like
hate
Universal.
those.
I don't
hate
like those at all because I don't want them touching me, and they get right in your
They
face.
get really close, and they're like, "I'm not touching you." I'm like, "No, but you're too close."
You're like in my bubble.
Yeah.
Get out of my bubble.
Get out of my bubble. My personal space is much bigger than what you're allowed.
You're in
now.
it. You're constantly in my bubble. But yeah.
It's like when little kids are like, "I'm not touching you."
Oh my
I'm
God.
not touching you.
They love that. Why?
I don't know.
It's so annoying.
It is so annoying.
But no, yeah, this is a very spooky topic. In these movies, these like exorcism movies, which I'm going to talk about a lot, are probably my favorite and scariest of all time.
Yeah. So please know we are terrified of today, but we're going to do it anyway.
Just for you.
All right. Well, before we do it, we got some stitches. So what's got you in stitches this week?
Oh, I'm first. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I've got a fun thing that I just, because, I'm addicted to TikTok now.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up, and I don't know how they get their statistics, but he said the FBI has rated their most notorious, or I don't know, the highest number of serial killers and murders based on their zodiac sign.
Oh.
Isn't that fun? I'm like, how did they do
Why
that?
did they do that?
No idea. And it just fascinated me. But the least amount of FBI that they don't worry about the most, Gemini.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
we're apparently not going to commit the most scariest things and crimes ever.
That's interesting to me because like Gemini, you think of, I know you're Gemini and I don't want to like insult you, but Gemini, it's the twins.
Yes,
have
we're dual
personality.
Totally.
So it seems like that would lead to
Like
somebody
schizophrenia or
exactly.
bipolarism and somebody just snapping.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Interesting.
We're like evened out, apparently. I don't know. So Gemini is number 12.
Okay.
Number 2 is Scorpio, which is my mom.
That's my husband.
And number 3, I'm going out of order. Number 3 was Sagittarius. 2 was Scorpio. And they're saying these 2 were more serial killers. Sagittarius, Ted Bundy.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were naming off all the people.
Okay.
Number 1, which surprised me, not Libra.
Oh,
Libra,
good.
you weren't
I'm,
even
like,
in the
worried.
spectrum. No. Was Cancer, which I have a lot of friends that are Cancers, and they're so emotional. But apparently number 1, the most like serial killers, mass murders.
Because they're super emotional?
I guess. He kind of talked a little bit, but yeah, Cancers. Of all people.
Be aware of your Cancer friends.
They might be serial
We
killers.
are sorry if you are a Cancer. We're not saying all Cancers are serial killers.
No. But the
We don't wanna upset
majority
any of our Cancer listeners out there.
But the majority of the FBI that they profile that are hired, that they're like looking for, are Cancers.
Interesting.
But I'm number 12. Woo!
I'm number 12.
I'm number 12.
I'm number 12. I thought you totally thought you were going to say Libra. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, I don't think so because we're very pacifist.
No,
so
yeah.
Let them
You're
stay
probably
out of it.
number 11, I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably with me at the
down
end.
at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Cancers.
huzzah.
So, hey, keep an eye on your Cancer friends.
This has been a public service announcement from Nicole.
For FBI. All right.
Oh.
Well, what's got you in stitches?
Well, I had my colonoscopy.
Woo! Get it.
I don't know if you should be more afraid of today's topic or when you turn 45 and have to go get this procedure done.
Nope. I am not looking forward to that. Oh, I feel so bad for you, but you did it. You kind of needed to.
I'm healthy. Everything's fine. Okay. I don't have to go back for 10 years. So that's nice.
Good.
But let me tell you, it was the weirdest thing. Like, it made me laugh because I was like, why do we put ourselves through this? And this is the most bizarre experience that I've ever gone through.
It's probing.
It's probing.
So you pretend you're on a UFO. But
I love it. Yes.
But at least you go under, right?
Probed. They stuck a utensil up my butt.
Exactly. With the camera, right?
With the camera.
With the camera.
I have pictures if you want to see.
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
So everyone says the hardest thing is the prep day, which is true. That's hard.
I can't imagine that.
You can't eat anything the day before, right?
Right.
So you are on a clear liquid diet. Water, Gatorade.
No.
You can have Jell-O. You can have
broth. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the Gwyneth Paltrow diet.
Oh, gosh. Gwyneth, God bless you. That's kind of crazy.
But
yeah. So I had water and Gatorade, and I would take naps because I was just nervous and tired. But every time I would fall asleep, I kept dreaming about eating food.
Oh no.
And I was like, and I'd wake up and be like, oh no, I ate something. I'm like, no, I didn't. It's okay. I can still do this. It's fine.
But you have bad dreams about eating food.
Yes, I would dream about eating food or just like accidentally taking a bite while I'm cooking, just taking a bite.
They're going to find that when they do.
But I didn't. I was good. I just drank water.
Were you grumpy all day?
Fine. Well, I was grumpy because I didn't have any caffeine. And so my head hurt.
Yeah.
But it was fine. That was fine. And then you start the drink. And I started to drink at 5 p.m.
The gross drink.
Well,
is it gross?
It's okay. It kind of tastes like they give you a little lemon lime flavoring, and there's lots of different alternatives for it.
Oh, good.
But it's like a gallon that you have to drink, right?
That's so much.
It's a lot. But you drink half of it. I drank half of it at 5 p.m., starting at 5 p.m. And then the other half I had to wake up at 3 a.m. to drink.
So you got to set your alarm, wake up in the middle of the night. You're tired and grumpy, and you've got to drink this rest of this gross drink.
Yes, it was so gross.
But I'm not looking forward to this.
It's fine. It sort of tastes like flat Sprite. It did have this kind of like slimy consistency to it.
It's even worse.
I
the
know.
texture.
It was just, it was very slippery.
Ew.
So it was weird. It was like
you're drinking slime.
It was like a lemon lime slippery water kind of thing. So I mean, it's fine.
I don't like it.
But you have to drink a lot of it. And so at 5 p.m., you're just drinking a cup every 10 minutes. So that's fine.
Okay.
And so I did like 9 rounds of that because
it's like shots.
Yeah. But like after
gross.
the first, it takes about an hour for it to kick in. And then you're just like hoping
on the toilet.
You're just on the toilet. And it's so weird because you're like, am I peeing?
No.
I don't know what's happening. It's so bizarre telling you. It's so weird. And then
I don't like that.
I know.
It's like when you have food poisoning.
Yep. You're like, okay.
Where's it coming out?
Where's it going? And and so anyway, that's all I say about that. But at the 3 a.m., I was trying to drink it faster. So I was doing double doses.
Chugging it.
And oh my gosh, don't do that. You have to be careful because people do throw it up if you drink too much at once.
Ew.
So it was fine. I didn't throw up. I had to like slow down and start pacing myself a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
Because I just wanted to get it over with so that I could go back to bed and whatever.
Yeah.
But so the prep is the worst of it. And then you go there and, they hook you up to the IV and then you're just laying down and all you have to do is lay down and rest. And then when they were about to give me the medication to fall asleep, right? So they put you under and she's like, so it's kind of like a twilight. Some people are fully asleep and they don't remember anything because there's a bit of
love that.
an amnesia effect to it. Or some people are awake, but they just kind of are okay with whatever is happening. She's like, I recommend you try to go to sleep. And I was like, yes, please. I want to be in the go to sleep category.
I recommend you put yourself to sleep.
So as soon as you start to feel the medication take effect, just, try to go to sleep. And I totally fell asleep. I was out.
Good.
So it's good.
Okay.
I did start to come to a little bit at the very end.
No.
So I definitely looked up at the monitor and I could see what was going on a little bit. And then I felt like my stomach felt bloated and I felt pressure
because there's something in there. Oh my gosh.
Right. But they were done. So they were finishing up whatever was happening, and then I fell back asleep. So I was just kind of like, and then my husband, when I was in recovery, came in, and he was so sweet. He was petting my head and telling me I did such a good job. And I know I looked at him like I was like a little puppy, because I was just like, oh, you're so wonderful. And the weirdest thing, because the anesthetic was still, his face kept shifting. So
weird.
I know, it was a weird thing. But it was like his eyes were going from a happy smile eye, when you smile, your eyes get a little bit, or they'd be big and wide.
You're like on mushrooms or something. That's crazy.
It was weird. I was like, oh, you're funny.
You didn't have any fun talking to him when you see those videos?
Yes.
When you're after the dentist?
I know I tried to talk to him about some things, but he said I was fine. Everything's good. But in my recollection, I remember telling him about other people that were, because you're just in these rooms that are just curtains. They aren't, rooms.
Fun.
And so you could hear the people next to you, getting ready. And I know this one woman next to me kept telling the nurse, she's like, well, I did take this medication and I didn't finish all my drink and I did do this, that, and the other thing. And one woman didn't get any kind of anesthesia at all. She just went in and did it and went out.
What a
right?
Badass. She just liked it.
I know. I was just like, no anesthesia at all. And she's like, I can't believe I just did that. That's what I heard her say when she came out. I can't believe I just did that.
I can't imagine feeling that. And no, I wouldn't do it. No, I don't even want to do it under, let alone without anything. Right. Holy cow.
Yeah. So it was the weirdest experience ever.
With pictures.
With pictures.
Do you have a video or just pictures?
No, just pictures. But I'm all clear. Everything's
good. That's a good thing.
Yes. I don't have to go back for 10 years.
Yay.
It's all good.
Yay.
It's a very strange experience.
Not looking forward to it. Yay.
5 years when you get to do it.
No. Maybe 4, right? Because
yeah, it's almost your birthday. Yay. Why are you making that face?
I'm not looking forward to this at all. Aging sucks, everybody. I know it's a process. Everybody has to go through it. But man, just kind of hits you all at once sometimes.
Sometimes it does. Yeah. You're like, how am I 45?
I feel like
I'm almost 46.
Yeah, my brain's 27.
Right?
And my body's 50. It's not fair, everybody. Oh, life.
I don't want to grow up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you survived. I'm glad we can eat. I'm glad we have coffee.
My gosh, that was what I was so looking forward to. I was like, I just want to get this over with so I can eat food.
Yes.
I was so
What did you
hungry.
eat? What was your meal?
So my husband took me to Starbucks on the way home.
Yes.
So I had a nice big coffee.
Oh,
and then
thank
I got one of their paninis.
Yay.
To just
those are
eat
good.
in the car on the way
yeah.
home. And then I think I had ramen.
Oh, I love ramen.
Yeah.
I almost had that too.
Yay.
Oh, that's so
It was
good.
good. I'm like, I want to eat all of the food. I was planning what we were going to have today.
Yes, I was too. But yeah, we'll go into that after. That's awesome.
Okay. So because I'm hungry, should we should we get stitching?
Yeah, let's get stitching.
Okay. Okay, Stitchers. So for today's stitch, I decided to do something crazy.
This made me laugh. I love it.
It's so cool. It's a vintage pattern. It comes from the Edwardian period.
Ooh.
I don't know what time period that is.
Do you want me to look it up? We're going to guess.
It's
sure.
in the 1800s.
Some other century.
Yeah, Edwardian period. And it is a vintage crochet, and it comes from a bunch of different books that they had during that period. So it was a very popular stitch at the time. It is called the crazy stitch.
That's very fitting for this theme today.
Yes, I chose it because a lot of people think that, people that are possessed
yes,
are
are
actually
crazy. Yes.
So I just
most
kind
of the time
wanted to
they
have
are
fun with that.
Perfect.
Theme.
It's it's funny when you brought it up. It looked almost very similar to like a crocodile slash what was it, bean slash like it just is a combination of a couple different things. I was like,
it is.
What is
and
that?
It's kind of like the drunken granny.
Yes,
but it's a lot shorter.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple pattern. It's in repeats of 4. So you're going to chain multiples of 4
Okay.
plus 6.
4 plus 6.
4 plus 6.
Cool.
Okay. So I did 26 because that's 4 plus 6. Yes.
I don't
5.
know.
Yes. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 6, 26. Yay. Math.
I'm still behind.
in the second chain from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet.
Okay.
Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets into that same stitch.
Oh, cool. So you go back in and then
go back in and then do 3
doubles. Okay.
Then you're going to skip 3 chains, and in the 4th chain, you're going to do the same thing again.
Oh.
It's a single crochet.
Easy.
Chain 2, and then 3 double crochets.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
That's the thing.
I can do that.
So you do that all the way down.
Okay.
And then you're going to, in that last stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet. And then you're going to turn, chain 3, do 3 double crochets into that same stitch. And that's going to act as your single crochet, chain 2, and then 3 doubles.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to go into the single crochet of each stitch and do the same
thing.
Single crochet,
oh, cool.
2 doubles.
You just find the single.
Single crochet, 2 chains.
2 chains.
3 doubles. Yeah.
Easy.
So you go into the single crochet.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
Hey.
And when you're doing that, you're pushing the row that you did in front. The row below, you're pushing that in front. So it makes these kind of little bumps. These little pockety bumps.
Yeah.
And it's reversible, so it's both sides.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so it's really cute. It's very
crazy.
I
like the description.
It's got a really cool texture.
It does. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
It's kind of like crocodile almost, but not.
I could see how it'd be like nice and warm and cozy because it's a very tight crochet.
Yeah, and thicker.
Yeah, it's very
What
thick.
size did you use for your hook?
So I used, since I'm using the baby
Thinner?
yarn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm using Bernat baby yarn. And since I'm using baby yarn, I'm using, what is this, a 4mm
Oh,
hook.
okay.
Yeah. But, you can use whatever recommended hook size you have.
Like
for
if it's
whatever
chunkier yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, because that would be nice if it was thicker.
Big, chunky. Ooh, that would be cool.
And it'd be a thick blanket if you make a blanket. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So it's fun. I recommend you try it.
I do want to try it.
And eventually you guys will get to see us do a little tutorial on it.
Yes.
But yeah, it's the crazy stitch.
Crazy.
Yeah, vintage crochet pattern.
Good job. Good find.
Yay.
I wouldn't have found that. How did you find it? Like, did you?
YouTube.
I love YouTube.
I just YouTubed it.
Nice.
One of my new favorite things is to find all these vintage crochet patterns because I'm like, let's
bring it back.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep
Because you don't see them as often.
No, I think they're fun.
Yay.
So yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Crazy stitch.
Crazy stitch. So speaking of crazy,
Oh.
it's time to get into what we were dreading.
I know. We can do this. I can do this.
We can do this.
Good luck.
Let's get on our pants of steel so that we can dive into story time.
Yeah, story time. So this week's themed episode is, at first it was just behind the scenes of Emily Rose, because that's our movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. But I had information and I needed more. And I was like, I want this episode to be longer. So we're going to dive into exorcism movies and the true stories behind them.
Ooh.
I only did 3.
Okay.
2.5, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay. But number 1's the biggest. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm
so,
ready.
Exorcisms in general are a highly debated topic between religious and non-religious people, right?
Yes.
Yes, and everybody in between. So I don't wish to start a debate when we talk about this, because it does. People are really passionate, but it's crazy, right?
Yes.
So when we're going to talk about today, I'd rather just present the events of the real live events that took place between a few exorcism movies that are loosely based on.
Okay.
Cool?
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah, just the facts, ma'am.
Just prefacing because I don't want people coming at me.
Don't come at me,
Don't
bro.
come at me, bro.
If you want to come at us, you can email us at theominoussitch@gmail.com.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're so good at that.
Yay, plugs.
Yep,
All right.
good job. Now, personally, like I said before, the movies that deal with exorcisms are high on my scare factor. I don't know about you.
Yes.
Are they pretty high?
I was dreading watching today's movie because I didn't
You didn't know what was happening, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was happy to see that it wasn't like
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Yeah.
That it was really about the trial and
Yes.
you see a glimpse of the exorcism. Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
that's
that
what I
put me at
like
ease.
it. Okay, good. But I'll get into it later.
Yes.
I want to go into that movie so much.
It's
Okay.
not movie time yet.
No, not yet. Dang it. Okay. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And this is based on Annalise Michel. Did I do
Michel,
it? Okay.
yeah.
She's going to say that more time. And this is about her tragic events and the actual trial that followed. But let's start from the beginning. So Annalise Michel, thank you, was born September 21st, 1952 in Leibelfing,
Yes.
Bavaria. Okay. There's another around the website. There's other names for the city, but that was the one I came up with the most. So
Okay.
there we go. Her parents were Anna and Joseph Michel.
Yes.
Hey, I
Michel.
did it. Sorry if I butcher that. Annalise had 3 sisters, and the family was very Roman Catholic, attending Mass twice a week. They lived in the small. She was born here in Leibelfing. Oh my God, I cannot say these.
Leibelfing.
Leibelfing. There's no L in the.
Leibelfing.
Thank you. And they lived in the small Bavarian town of Klingenberg.
Yep.
Yay! Where her father operated a sawmill. Yeah, German's not my thing, and that's Angela, so she's helping me with all this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else is known about her upbringing, so we jump to when Annalise was 16 years old, where it is known that she suffered a severe seizure. At school, she blacked out and supposedly started walking around in a trance-like state, and sadly, she had no recollection of what happened. This all led to a diagnosis of temporal lobe epilepsy.
Okay. Yeah. Because that was in Emily Rose. They try to blame it on
Epilepsy.
Yeah.
Symptoms during an aura or feeling before a seizure starts of temporal lobe epilepsy can be deja vu, a sudden sense of fear, panic or anxiety, rising sick feeling in your stomach, an altered sense of hearing, sight, smell, taste, or touch. Then during the seizure, one will lose some degree of awareness for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and symptoms of focal impaired awareness seizures include staring into space or blank stare, repetitive behaviors and movements of the hands, eyes, and mouth, confusion, unusual speech, or altered ability to respond and communicate with others, and brief loss of ability to speak, read, or comprehend speech. So I wanted to put those in there because those were very similar to what she was experiencing.
Okay.
Sadly, Annalise's condition worsened and she was taken to a psychiatric hospital in 1970 where she was having severe convulsions during a seizure. This culminated into what doctors believe to be Geschwind syndrome. I'm going to guess that. Geschwhind. Geschwind. Okay.
Yep.
And this leads to 5 primary changes. This is important. 1, hypergraphia, which is an intense desire to write or draw. 2, hyper-religiosity. Sure.
Hyper-religiosity.
There you go. Sure.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That's a lot of words I'm struggling.
Words.
Yeah, this is hard this time.
This is going to be a hashtag
Yep.
because words episode.
Thank you. This is where a person experiences intense religious beliefs or episodes, which includes abnormal beliefs and a focus on religious content or even atheistic content. Okay. Atypical usually reduced sexuality, circumstantiality, or nonlinear thought pattern, where the focus on a conversation drifts or even tends to continue conversations for a long time and talk repetitively, and intensified mental life, which includes deepened cognitive and emotional responses. So, quick note.
Yep.
This diagnosis was, I'd say they thought this is what she was doing, but it wasn't 100% confirmed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my opinions
Good.
on
Doctors.
yes, medical diagnosis.
Yes.
To try to explain things that they don't
Understand.
understand.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where this led.
Okay.
Doctors prescribed medication but seemed to have little effect, and she began to describe seeing devil faces watching her frequently. Despite her medical condition, she still enrolled at the University of Würzburg in 1973. During her attendance, her condition still deteriorating with meds, suffering severe depression, and increasingly experiencing hallucinations, but particularly while praying. She would tell the doctors that she constantly heard voices telling her that she was damned or that she would rot in hell, and started to believe she was possessed by a demon, while her family was also convinced of this verdict.
Poor Annalise.
She then thought, since the medical professionals couldn't save her over the last 5 years of treatment and medicine, she needed to find a solution outside of the medical realm. To hammer the coffin in the nail, she seemed to be intolerant of any Christian sacred places and objects, particularly crosses.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Now, let me note,
Okay.
you're going to like this. During my research, I did stumble upon some YouTube videos. One included your favorite, Shane and Ryan of BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yay! I love them.
So their rendition, go take a look because it is kind of fun. But their rendition makes it sound like doctors could not really find much wrong with Annalise after performing a couple EKGs on her, and that her activity was way more paranormal than the other websites list. I don't know where their sources came from, but yeah, they were more heavily in like doctors didn't know what was wrong with her. There were like things that were happening that they couldn't explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You can, like I said, watch it for yourself, but hard to get the 100% concrete evidence exactly what happened. So you can believe what you
Right.
believe.
So if you're researching on the medical side, they're going to exclude a lot of things that may have happened because they're trying to make their diagnosis
Exactly. They
trying to
fit
make their
into
diagnosis
a box.
make sense.
Yes.
And if she's experiencing things that are not being treated by medicine, that are of a paranormal, simply means not normal.
Not normal. Exactly.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that it is otherworldly or ghostly. It just means it's not normal.
Yes.
This is not what we expect to happen in our world. So
Right.
if she's experiencing more paranormal things, and they don't have an explanation for it, they're going to tend to just ignore that.
Sweep it.
And,
Yeah.
like we're going to treat what we do know how to treat.
Exactly.
And see if we can get that to work. Obviously, it's not working.
Nope.
So
There you go.
because there are other factors at play
Exactly.
that
And
they don't understand.
so we're going to dive into those too.
Yes.
So Annalise visited San Damiano, a location in Italy sacred to St. Francis of Assisi, with the family friend to take a Christian pilgrimage. There she also met priest Father Ernst Alt, and both her friend and priest Alt were convinced she was possessed, for they witnessed Annalise unable to walk past a crucifix and refused to drink the water of a Christian holy spring. In Father Alt's words, Annalise told me, and Frau Hein confirmed this, that she was unable to enter the shrine. She approached it with the greatest hesitation, then said that the soil burned like fire and she simply could not stand it. She then walked around the shrine in a wide arc and tried to approach it from the back. She looked at the people who were kneeling in the area surrounding the little garden, and it seemed to her that while praying, they were gnashing their teeth. She got as far as the edge of the little garden, then she had to turn back. Coming from the front again, she had to avert her glance from the picture of Christ in the chapel of the house. She made it several times to the garden, but could not get past it. She also noted that she could no longer look at medals or pictures of saints. They sparkled so immensely that she could not stand it.
Wow.
All witnessed.
Okay.
Annalise and her family turned to several priests now in hopes to secure an exorcism for Annalise, but all of them said it would not be allowed without the consent of the bishop. They told the family she could continue with her medical treatments instead.
Okay.
At this point, poor Annalise's problems accelerated as she would rip the clothes off her body, compulsively perform up to 400 squats a day, displayed aggression such as throwing her sister across the room with such strength that it was inhuman, and injured herself. At one point, she crawled under the table and barked like a dog for 2 days.
Oh my gosh, Annalise.
She was witnessed eating spiders and coal, biting the head off a dead bird, and she even licked her own urine from the floor.
Oh man, you
Yeah.
poor baby.
Briefly convinced there was no hope, Annalise wrote to Father Alt, "I am nothing. Everything about me is vanity. What should I do? I have to improve. You pray for me." And also once told him, "I want to suffer for other people, but this is so cruel." Father Alt finally stepped up and contacted Bishop Joseph Stangl, let's say that. He convinced the bishop to approve the exorcism of Annalise. He granted a local priest, Arnold Renz, permission to perform the exorcism, but gave strict orders that it needed to be carried out in complete secrecy.
Oh, why? That's interesting.
No idea.
Okay.
The first exorcism rite took place September 24th, 1975, and the first did not do anything, nor the second,
Oh, wow.
nor the third.
Oh, wow.
So on and so forth. Over the course of a year, Father Renz carried out roughly 67 exorcism rites,
Oh my goodness.
and each one lasted upwards of 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Note that throughout the course of the religious rites, Annalise was still taking antipsychotic drugs and consumed them frequently. Despite taking these, Annalise's symptoms worsened.
Yeah. Okay.
Father Renz allowed the exorcism rites to be recorded, and there are a total of 42 separate recordings. With the amazing technology we have today, you can actually listen to many excerpts on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to play one for Angela right now.
Okay.
If we can pick it up on the mic, we might leave it in.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on. Let me find it because this is on that BuzzFeed. Why are you all here?
I have the right to be in this woman. I will carry this brat so long until she croaks. This dumb ass bitch. For us, there's no coming back. Never. For all eternity.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, hold on. There's more. 537. Okay. Just watch this part.
She's screaming. She's giving it 110%. I mean, do you think that sounds like it came out of a girl? Like, yes, it sounds like a girl doing a funny voice. But your unrelenting skepticism is exhausting. It
I love
drains
them
me
so
of all
much.
happiness and energy, and I hope you know that.
Say your name. Judas. Nero.
Nero, Cain, and Hitler. That's 5 of us. We lied about him.
That's what all the
Oh,
Lucifer. It's the
Lucifer.
So there's 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you were not able to hear the recording I played for Angela, in one of Annalise's sessions, she is able to reveal whom she is possessed by. And it's not one demon, but a total of 6. Cain, Judas, Hitler, Nero, Fleischmann.
Fleischmann.
I'll go into that. And
Okay.
Lucifer himself.
Oh, wow.
What's crazy about this is that she was able to go into accurate detail regarding Valentin Fleischmann's life, a Catholic priest that was believed to have roots in Bavaria, Germany in the 16th century, but was unfrocked in 1575 due to alcoholic behavior and also accused of assault and attempted murder.
Oh, wow.
So who knows if she learned about this, as she was a devout Catholic and attended church frequently, but no one else knew about it. So she had a lot of information about Fleischmann.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, pictures.
Yeah.
So Annalise, I'm going to put a picture of her normal, and then during her exorcism, that's her mom.
Oh, my gosh. That poor girl. Oh.
Yeah. But as
my heart.
mentioned, the exorcisms did nothing.
Not work.
Yeah. And Annalise would claim during the sessions that she had to die due to the apostate priests of the modern Catholic Church. By the way, I had to look apostate. And it means a person who renounces a religious belief. So she wanted to die for their quote unquote sins.
Oh, man. So she had to martyrize herself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
During her rites, the demons that were inhabiting Annalise would often argue with each other. And at one point, Hitler commented that people are stupid as pigs. They think it's all over after death. It goes on. And Judas said Hitler was nothing but a big mouth who had no real say in hell. This reminds me of South Park. I don't know if you've ever watched South Park. And Hitler's in hell. Yeah, that's fun.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I know. Annalise would be continually kneeling in prayer to the point where she broke the bones and ripped the tendons in her knees.
Oh, Annalise.
Yep. And because her movement and strength was inhumanly strong, Annalise was frequently restrained during the exorcism rites. Sadly, she stopped eating and drinking during the first few months of the exorcisms. More photos.
Yeah. Her eyes are just black, guys.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Yeah, she's creepy. Almost 10 months after the exorcism rites started, Annalise passed away on July 1st, 1976. Her autopsy report determined she died from severe malnourishment and dehydration and weighed only 68 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
She was only 23 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Her death was investigated, and the state prosecutor claimed that her death could have been prevented as late as 1 week before she passed. Annalise's parents, Father Alt and Father Renz, were charged with negligent homicide. The court sessions took place starting on March 30th, 1978, which was the first of its kind in modern German history. The state recommended that none of the parties be jailed, but that the recommended sentence for the priest was a fine, while the prosecution concluded that the parents should be exempt from punishment as they had, quote unquote, suffered enough, a mitigation legal factor in German penal law.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
In court, both priests were defended by church-paid lawyers, while the Michels were defended by one of Germany's top lawyers, Erich Schmidt-Leichner. The priest's defense claimed that Annalise was indeed possessed and brought up all 6 of the demons that inhabited her while performing all exorcism attempts. The priest also stated that her death finally freed her, but Annalise's parents did not agree that her death freed her. The priests were allowed to play the audio tapes of the exorcisms in court as evidence.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah, I couldn't sit through that. Schmidt-Leichner defended that not only exorcism was legal, but the German Constitution protects citizens in the unrestricted exercise of their religious beliefs. The prosecution had a series of doctors testify that Annalise died from a combination of epilepsy, mental orders, and an extreme religious environment that added up to a spiritual sickness and heavy psychic disturbance. Now, note that the month prior to the court trials, Annalise's parents ordered their daughter's body to be exhumed. Some say it was because she was hurriedly buried in a shabby coffin and wanted to upgrade her situation. However, most say it was because they said a nun told them she had a vision that her daughter's body was still intact, which was proof of the possession. Authorities examined her body after exhumation and saw normal body decay. So,
Okay.
she was
dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
The verdict. Both priests were found guilty of manslaughter resulting from negligence, and both were sentenced to 6 months in jail, which was later suspended, and 3 years of probation. The trial did have Bishop Joseph Stangl of Würzburg change how exorcisms are proved there on out, as he said he would only approve exorcism if the possessed person agreed to the presence of a doctor during the ritual. He did maintain that his actions for Annalise were all within church law, though. After all that was said and done, Annalise's gravesite was, and still remains, a pilgrimage site.
Yeah. Okay. I get the similarities
There's a lot of similarities.
There are a lot of similarities. Here's my take on this. Like, I think, because I do believe in the spiritual realm.
Sure.
So I do believe there are bad spirits and there are good spirits. If you want to call them angels and demons, however you want to call it. I do believe that possession is a thing that can happen. And I believe that there have been millions, could be an exaggeration. I don't know exactly how many cases of exorcisms there have been.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are successful. Some are not. But I believe that all of this is real. I believe she was possessed. I don't know if she was possessed by all 6 of those, because I'm not in the spiritual world. I do see glimpses of it. We all have the capability to see glimpses of the spiritual world. Mm-hmm. We all have had experiences, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Mm-hmm. But that poor girl.
Yeah. Despite everything, that's so sad. To just have to go through all of that. Even if it was a possible medical situation, there's like no way to help her. I mean, she was, as I mentioned, she was taking all the drugs. Yeah. Nothing was helping her.
Medicine wasn't helping her.
No.
So I don't understand how they blamed the parents, because they were trying to do everything that they
did.
Could.
Yeah, they did both, Yeah,
so. They did. They went the medical route. Yep. They went the religious route.
Yep. And that's, I mean, where else could you do?
Ultimately, she's an adult woman and is technically capable of making her own decisions.
True. And she wanted the exorcisms.
Yeah. And
she didn't think the medicine was doing anything for her.
Right.
So very sad case. The movie we'll talk about more later, which I love. So
sad.
Very sad. Okay, we're on to the next movie, which is another creepy movie that's on my top 10 list.
Oh, okay. So another one we're going to have to watch?
The Exorcism. I was thinking we might do this for a patron episode. Yeah. So
Become
patrons.
A patron if you want us to do this.
Yes,
one.
we're going to probably talk about it in a patron episode. Okay. So it was released in 1973 and was based on the novel of the same name, both written by William Peter Blatty. Quick tidbits about the movie. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Like I said, we'll probably do this as a patron episode. Those who love horror movies probably have seen this.
I have not.
Really?
I've seen.
You have not seen this? I have not.
So, okay, I've seen one little part of it, but no, I haven't seen it. I've seen.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I've seen about as much of it as I saw The Shining before I saw The Shining. So, you can't avoid clips, and you can't avoid.
Yeah, or
the satires
yes,
of it.
I was going to say there's a lot of those. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to watch it then. Okay.
I can tell you that my sister had people over at one point and they were watching it, and I snuck in behind them and I threw a teddy bear at them and I scared them all.
Scare them?
Yeah.
My experience that's really hilarious is that I rewatched it when I first started college in 2000. I went to a midnight showing on our campus with my 2 good friends, and it scared us so much that we walked back. We were freaking out and we couldn't sleep. And our friend stayed with us. It's a guy in another dorm. And he stayed there and while we slept. And then when the sun rose, he left.
Oh, wow.
That's how scared we were. Such a good movie.
Oh, no.
Okay. So the movie follows the demonic possession of a young girl, which is Linda Blair's character, and her mother's attempts to rescue her through an exorcism conducted by a pair of Catholic priests. The debut was in late December 1973 with sold-out shows. Some viewers suffered adverse physical reactions, fainting, or vomiting to scenes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Supposedly, there were also heart attacks, and even a miscarriage was reported among viewers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's how intense it was.
No.
Several cities attempted to ban the movie, as many children were allowed to see it due to the R rating. Some tried to change it to an X rating.
Oh, what?
It was intense, see? Police in Washington, D.C. even threatened to arrest anyone who sold a ticket to the movie to any non-adults.
Wow.
Despite all this, The Exorcism was the first horror movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. 1973, dude. So yes, the Exorcism novel was based on a true story.
Oh, no.
We go back to the late 1940s where we come across the pseudonym of Roland Doe. There are speculations of his actual name, but no one knows for sure.
Okay.
So we're calling him Roland. He was born into a German Lutheran family and was living in Cottage City, Maryland. Roland was an only child and loved his Aunt Harriet. Aunt Harriet was a spiritualist whom at one point introduced Roland to the Ouija board.
Okay.
There's supposedly this is the picture of a house where he grew up.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Kind of creepy, but yeah.
It's creepy.
The way they did it.
Yeah.
When Roland was around 13 or 14 years old, his Aunt Harriet sadly passed away. But soon after her death in January 1949, the family began to hear strange dripping noises and scratching sounds in their home.
Ooh.
They also witnessed furniture moving on its own accord, and household objects such as vases went flying or levitated when Roland was nearby.
Oh.
Initially, Roland's mother thought that the strange activity was connected to the recently deceased Aunt Harriet. Not sure if they brought out the Ouija board or tried their hands at seances, which was kind of hinted at, but the family decided to try and reach out to the spirits they thought were in the house, trying to calm the atmosphere and environment, and asked to be left alone. Sadly, the communication made the situation worse.
Yeah, you open portals, people.
And they're not the right ones.
Didn't they listen to our podcast
No,
about Ouija
they
boards
should have,
yesterday?
right?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday. Felt like
Yeah,
yesterday.
it did feel like yesterday.
So Roland told his parents that he could hear someone or something walking around in his room at night while trying to fall asleep.
Oh, no. I don't like that. And that happened in the movie, and I don't like that.
Yep. There were also scratch marks that appeared on his mattress in the morning. But
Oh, what?
soon after, the scratch marks moved from his mattress to Roland's body.
To his body?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
The next step for the family was to contact their Lutheran pastor, Luther Miles Schultz. Apparently, Schultz was big into parapsychology, so he agreed to observe him. One source says in Schultz's own home, the other states Roland stayed overnight in the church. But either way, Schultz did witness strange things. One source did say Schultz claimed to witness objects and furniture move on their own accord.
Oh, man.
So Schultz advised the family they needed to reach out to a Catholic priest. So the parents converted to Catholicism, but when they tried to have Roland baptized, he responded in unbridled rage to the point that he was admitted to a hospital.
What? Oh, Roland.
There, a psychiatrist attempted to treat him, but supposedly this was unsuccessful. Struggling to figure out what to do, they thought maybe moving Roland to a different house would cause the spirits to leave them be. But as most paranormal interested people know, that doesn't do anything.
Nope. The spirits are attached to him.
Yes, not the
Yeah.
house. The strange events still continued. They decided to request an exorcism, and they called Father Edward Hughes, Father Raymond J. Bishop, Reverend William S. Bodern, Father Walter Halloran, and Father William Van Roo. They called them all.
Dude, that's a lot.
Yes, but we're going to go in order now.
Okay.
So according to one source, Roland's first exorcism was with Father Hughes, a Roman Catholic priest, and took place at Georgetown University Hospital. Supposedly during the exorcism, Roland had slipped a hand out of the restraints, then proceeded to reach under the mattress to break out a bed spring. He thrust it at Father Hughes as a makeshift weapon, slashing his arm and causing the exorcism ritual to stop.
Oh my gosh.
Gashed him.
Oh no.
Yeah. Not much is written about the exorcism with Father Bishop, but he did write down his experiences with Roland. But the one that has the most detailed accounts is with Reverend William Bodern. And supposedly, he kept a secret diary with details about Roland's exorcism.
Oh man.
We'll go into that a little more.
Okay.
But the last exorcisms took place in 1949 at St. Louis University and at the old 19th century wings of Alexian Brothers Hospital. Supposedly, those wings were torn down in 1976. Roland was staying with his aunt and uncle in St. Louis and would be driven over to the university to receive the rites from Father Bodern. According to a report by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, they recalled that most of his bizarre behavior happened at night and that he would become incredibly strong, Roland's body distorting and transforming where he would be able to touch his heels to the back of his head.
Oh,
so that
no,
his body
full scorpion.
would form a loop. Yes, all reported by priests who were witnesses.
Dude.
During these convulsions, they had doctors on hand who would find no change in his pulse rate or blood pressure.
What?
Still.
Oh, what? That makes no sense.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Somehow, Roland's bed would shake violently and obscene words and images would appear on his skin in these raised red welts. And these brandings would appear as many as 30 times each day.
Oh, no.
At one point, a large Roman numeral X appeared on the boy's chest, which led Reverend Bodern to believe that there were at least 10 demons involved with Roland's possession.
Oh, my gosh.
Reverend Bodern and other priests also witnessed one night a tiny, nearly invisible pitchfork or lines move from under the boy's upper thigh all the way down to his ankle, and droplets of blood occurred.
What? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like
Oh,
this,
no.
Nicole.
It's scary, right?
Yes.
And similar to the Exorcist movie, Roland had spat out a foul substance at the priests who attended him all the way across the room and with incredible accuracy.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's gross. Jesuit seminarian Walter Halloran was working on his master's degree in history when Reverend Bodern asked him for his assistance with Roland's exorcism rites. He was the one who drove Roland back and forth to his aunt and uncle's home to the exorcism locations. And one night, while Roland was being forcibly restrained, he was able to free himself and broke Halloran's nose. He was interviewed by John McGuire of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and testified that he did indeed break his nose.
Dude.
He also claimed he observed streaks, arrows, and words like hell that would rise on Roland's skin. He is quoted stating, "That happened a number of times, and it wasn't a case of taking a pin and scratching himself. It just appeared, and with quite a bit of pain." It is noted that during the exorcism rites, Roland would speak in Latin and even took on a deep, adult-sounding voice that was unfamiliar.
Dude. How can people not think that this is real?
Right.
I don't get it. Like, I don't
They resort
get it.
to science, though. They have to put things into factual boxes.
But look, it's facts. It's happening right in front of your face.
Right. That
it
you can't
doesn't
explain.
matter if you can't explain it. It's the fact is that it is happening
Yeah,
right in
with
front of your face.
witnesses, multiple witnesses.
Yeah, that is fact.
Yeah.
That is fact. So take things at face value. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yes. The exorcisms for Roland lasted for 12 weeks. It was noted that at the end of each day, Reverend Bodern would meet with the witnesses and participants in the room, which consisted of 6 or 7 Jesuits, the boy's family, and members of the Alexian Brothers Order. They would go over and verify exactly what happened.
I can't even imagine.
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
Now, obviously, there were skeptics present at Roland's exorcisms as well. One night, a Washington University physicist was called in to witness an exorcism rite for Roland. At one point, a hospital bedside table levitated slowly towards the ceiling, for which he replied, "Well, there's much about electromagnetism that we don't know." But he left in a hurry and supposedly tried to act as if it never happened.
Gosh.
Electromagnetism,
You
huh?
can't, yeah. There's just some cutoff in people's brains that are just like, if they don't understand what it is, then they're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, they can't really deal with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Father Van Roo helped towards the end of Roland's ordeal and helped monitor Roland and help with the rites. After it was all over, Father Van Roo wasn't completely convinced Roland was possessed and even thought the movie that came out about it was dangerous, melodramatized, and absurd. So there's your other skeptic.
Okay.
Bodern wanted to keep Roland's exorcism secret and sealed from the public, but somehow it was leaked to the Washington Post soon after. Bodern never spoke of the case ever in his life, not even to his family members, but passed on that secret diary he kept to author William Blatty, but this was supposedly after he released the novel. So a lot of those things in his novel were probably not, but the movie, because the movie came afterwards,
Right.
probably included a lot with his
Oh,
secrets.
interesting.
The silver lining in all of this is that Roland is actually fine now, supposedly married, and lives in Omaha. He works for an airline and named his first child Michael for the Archangel.
Oh,
Archangel.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we don't know his exact name. That's what we're just led to believe. I don't know all, but there you go.
Oh my gosh.
The Exorcism.
My brain is like exploding right now.
That case really got me.
I don't even like I can't my hands are in the air. I don't know what to say. That's just
It's wild.
it's wild. It's insane.
It's hard to comprehend. Poor people. At least he came out okay.
Yes, I'm glad that I'm really happy for him and his family that he was able to survive and come through all of that. I can't imagine what an experience like that would do to you as a person.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Or as like as his family witnessing that. I mean, oh my gosh, that's insane.
I'm speechless.
I know, me too.
The movie is so scary, Bo.
I'm trying to put words with what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, but hashtag because words, there aren't any. I can't. Oh my gosh.
You don't need them. We all understand. It's creepy. It's so
Oh.
creepy. All right. The last one is, like I said, this is my kind of half. This is about Father Amorth. Okay. And I didn't know any of this because until recently, there was a recent movie when this was released. It's probably a few weeks ago called The Pope's Exorcist.
Yes.
Do you see that with Russell?
Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this movie is based on Father Gabriel Amorth, chief exorcist for the Vatican. He passed away in 2016, but claimed that he had performed over, get this, 160,000 exorcisms in his lifetime.
Oh my gosh.
Now, his what he calls exorcism, it's not representing a victim of possession, but rather each exorcism was counted as a prayer or ritual alone. Okay, so it's not the people, but how many rites he had to say.
Right. Okay.
He also believed that a person may be possessed by more than one demon at once, sometimes numbering in the thousands.
Oh my gosh.
And this is Father Amorth. Okay.
The men that perform these exorcisms, I can't imagine
Having to do that.
and having the fortitude to just be present and to carry on the rites. Like that's just
It sounds grueling.
yeah, it does sound grueling.
The Pope's Exorcist follows Father Amorth, the Vatican's leading exorcist, where they focus on a specific possession of a child and covers a conspiracy regarding higher-ups in the Vatican. Allegedly, this case was true for Father Amorth, as it is based on a missing girl's case in 1983. Emanuela Orlandi was a Vatican City schoolgirl who disappeared, and Father Amorth was convinced that she was kidnapped, get this, for a sex party by a gang that involved Vatican police and foreign diplomats.
Oh my gosh, that is heartbreaking.
Yes, it's sad. So he
don't.
believed that happened. This is I haven't seen. We haven't seen the movie, but since we haven't seen it, I'm gonna guess that demons are involved in all of that. So who knows? You know, Hollywood, they're gonna change a little bit. So in the 2020 book, The Devil is Afraid of Me, penned by Marcello Stanzione, a fellow Catholic priest who worked with Father Amorth, wrote about a lot of Father Amorth's stories that happened. And this is a following one that he wrote about.
Okay.
So in Rome, Father Amorth was in his consulting room when a young Italian man, his priest, and a translator showed up asking for help. Father Amorth was notified that the Italian man only spoke Italian. However, the evil spirit inside him spoke perfect English.
Whoa.
Father Amorth decided to conduct an exorcism on him and was speaking Latin. As soon as he mentioned Jesus' name, the possessed man grew irate and started to shout curses and threats in English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He then spat at Father Amorth. After some prayers and more screams and howls, Father Amorth demanded the demon reveal its name, and he was taken aback when he was told it was the devil himself. The possessed man then started shrieking again, twisting his head back, rolling his eyes, and arching his back. Supposedly, the room grew extremely frigid and ice crystals even formed on the windows.
Wow.
Once Father Amorth demanded that the devil leave the poor man, his body actually started to levitate before collapsing in the chair. And suddenly the demon announced the exact day and hour he would leave the man's body. So that was one of the tales.
Wow.
And there's obviously many more.
Yeah.
Father Amorth entered the priesthood in 1951, and in 1986, he became an exorcist. In 1990, he established the International Association of Exorcists. Father Amorth claimed that he would never perform an exorcist based solely on someone's claims of possession. He said he would direct people to psychiatrists and doctors first, and if he finds someone is not possessed but the person still insists, his response was always, "You have no devil. If you have a problem, talk to a good vet."
Oh.
So despite how many exorcists he did perform, he was still using clear conscience of how people were and whatnot.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Now,
powerful and amazing.
Yeah. Okay. But see, now I'm not a huge fan of Father Amorth in this next part.
Uh-oh.
Okay. His views of yoga and Harry Potter.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm not
right.
joking. He was quoted saying, "Yoga is satanic because it leads to practice of Hinduism, and all Eastern religions are based on a false belief in reincarnation.
Okay.
And practicing yoga is satanic. It leads to evil, just like reading Harry Potter." And I wrote,
I disagree with you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Strongly.
I'm sorry. That is as much as, you've done a lot for people. That's a very weird belief. And my belief in reincarnation. So
yeah.
there you go.
We both share
Yeah.
that belief. Yeah.
Yeah. And Harry Potter.
and Harry Potter. I firmly believe
We
in
all
Harry
love
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Shout out to all you Hufflepuffs out there.
Yay!
Yay!
So that's Father Amorth. And like I said, there's this new movie that came out. He apparently is this funny, humorous man in real life, and Russell Crowe does a really good job of interpreting that.
Okay.
But the fact that his beliefs are just so narrow-minded in that way just kind of threw me off.
That is interesting. It's
Yeah.
very strange to be so open-minded about the realm of spiritualism
Yes.
and devils and angels and
Right. But Hinduism being bad
Yeah.
and yoga
That's
being
interesting.
bad. Don't practice yoga, even though it's really good for you.
Yeah.
Don't practice yoga. You're going to have Satan in you or something, or Harry Potter.
Interesting.
So yeah, a little off kilter there, but
Yeah.
his stories are pretty creepy. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Wow.
Exorcisms, guys.
Oh, I'm glad to be through that. So
Yeah.
it's very scary because I do believe that it's possible that it happens. I believe in it. I mean, there are cases people have had real experiences of it.
And things you can't explain.
Things you can't explain. And I have, when you were going through these stories, one thing popped into my head when I had an experience of one time, this was years ago, I very vividly had this kind of, I'm going to say, out of body kind of experience. I was in my bedroom at my old house, and I felt this rush of bad coming towards me down the hallway.
No.
And I felt my spirit guides, I'm going to call them my spirit guides, my guardian angels, those are watching over me. They let me know, hey, there's a rush of bad coming towards you. We got you.
Aww.
And they wrestled it and threw it out the house. So it's never going to come near me again.
Wow.
Right? So I had a powerful experience like that. It was very clear and very vivid to me, which is an interesting thing to have happen to you. But I believe my guardian angels and my spirit guides are very strong.
That's
and they
great.
protect me very, very much. So
Yeah.
shout out to my spirit guides.
Hey. What's up, spirits?
But yeah, so it's interesting because I've had an experience that was very, very mild compared to what some of these people have. But
Sure.
if you create portals or if you have an open energy about you and you're a target, like I said in one of our more recent episodes, it was last episode with the Ouija board. When you have that opening and that target and you're allowing those who want to inhabit the physical world again, that's not a good thing to create. You have to be very, very careful, because just as much as there are wonderful, good, amazing spirits, there are also those that are not wonderful and not good. So you have to make sure that you understand what you're doing and you have your protections. And the spirit world is real. It's real. It exists. It's there.
It's not just over after this, everybody.
Nope.
You know what's fun?
Huh.
Full circle.
Yes.
Remember our movie with Matthew McConaughey and the demons?
No. Why are you bringing that up again?
Remember The Possessed? That I just wanted to bring it up because it made me laugh. I was thinking about demons possessing and the soul still in there or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
The soul is still in there.
Yeah, but not in that movie.
Not in that
world.
But in the real world.
I just wanted to make lighthearted with you.
God. No, now you're just making me mad.
If you haven't listened, go listen to when we talk about Frailty.
I hate
review that movie
so much. It's still negative 25 for me. Oh, I hate it. Well, if you have opinions about exorcisms or any experience that you've had, or anything else you want to talk about, please email us at theominousstitch@gmail.com. You can also read any show notes, and we'll post all kinds of cool things, maybe audio clips that we have of some of the exorcisms that Nicole showed me, which are quite interesting if they didn't come across here on the recording.
Yeah, we'll have to try to link the YouTube videos.
Yeah, we'll link
because
YouTube
there's so much.
videos.
There's some that are translated, some that are not, and just it's spooky.
Yeah, go to our Podbean, podbean.com. Podbean.com, the Ominous Stitch podcast. And you can check out any show notes from this show or any previous shows. There's also a little button you can click on to become a patron. And
whoop, whoop.
like Nicole said, we have one patron episode out about black-eyed kids, which is so creepy and scary. So if you want to become a patron, you'll be able to check that out. And then we're going to do one on the exorcism, apparently.
Yeah, I'm going to make her watch that.
Oh, man. If I throw up, I'm going to I don't know.
You won't throw up.
Okay, I hope not. So anyway, hop over to podbean.com, the Ominous Stitch, become a patron if you so choose, or you can jump on any of our social medias, predominantly Instagram.
Yep.
And just see the
Say hi.
wonderful little stitch that we did this week.
Yeah. Check out our photos.
Whatever. We want to interact with you. We love communicating with our community. So get talking to us.
Please.
All right.
Last part.
Last part is movie time.
This week's movie review is The Exorcism of Emily Rose, released in 2005, 6.7 stars on IMDb, and the synopsis. A lawyer takes on a negligent homicide case involving a priest who performed an exorcism on a young girl. That's it.
Yep.
So again, I have to preface, this is probably in my top 10 of my horror movies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. It's okay. So I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I don't really think of it that much of a
Horror.
horror movie.
Sure.
Because it's more of like a legal movie.
Yeah, half of it.
Legal movie? I don't know. That's not the right term.
Drama.
A legal drama.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it's more about the court case than it is about, you do get glimpses of what happened to Emily as she's going through it.
Right.
And there are elements of the demons messing with Laura Linney.
And I think that's what creeped me out more. I mean, the exorcism parts were scary.
Yeah.
Super scary. And Jennifer Carpenter
is
the most amazing, convincing actress in this movie. I'm so glad they cast her.
So good. She's Emily.
Yep.
She
did
was so
great.
Scary
to
watch her just go through that.
She was convincing that she was possessed. It was spooky.
It was.
No, the events with Laura Linney, like those subtle, 3 a.m.
Yes.
And the door that was wide open in her apartment building and things like that. And
the tape playing.
Yeah, the tape playing.
I just kept thinking about how I had to wake up at 3 a.m. and drink the stupid drink.
The goo.
I was like, I know 3 a.m.
Oh, man. But I think when I first started watching this and not knowing much about exorcisms and spiritualism, demons and whatever, it scared the crap out of me. So 3 a.m. would come if I'm awake and I could not sleep. I would be afraid of every noise and everything around me. I was like, is there something in my house? I freaked out.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the night after I watched this, the same thing
Oh, you
happened.
woke up at 3 a.m.?
I don't know if I didn't want to look at my clock.
Uh-huh.
I was wide awake in the middle of the night,
Uh-huh.
and I would hear things, and I don't know why. And I was like, I've seen this movie. Everything's cool. No, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
It scared me.
I hated when they showed how she got possessed and how like
her
bed
body
was
and
pushed
her,
down
yes,
into the bed. and
yes.
I hated that part so much. That was like
And she
the
was
worst for
alone.
me. Yeah, that was the worst for me. I didn't like it. I'm like, no, I don't like when you're sleeping and
Yeah.
then things like
Happen.
mess with you when
Yeah,
you're sleeping.
exactly.
No. That was the worst part for me.
See, and then her seeing the faces of everybody.
Oh yeah,
Ugh. Yeah. I enjoy this movie, and Laura Linney does such a really good job as the
I
lawyer.
love Laura
and-
Linney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great. So I don't know. This movie, like you said, even though it's like a court drama, these horror elements to it just still leaves it so unknown, I guess, in a way, and that it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
That's what scares me too. I think the fact that like you're not protected usually.
yeah.
You know, she was so spiritual,
Yeah.
and that fact that, and she just got possessed.
Yeah.
And it just scares me. So
Yeah.
and then the fact that it's based on that true story of
That true story.
yeah, of Annalise. So
Mhm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's scary. Scarier than anything else.
Yeah. And it's I'm like speechless. It's scary. It's so like it's because it's just real and it's so there's no protecting.
That's what I'm
from it,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he couldn't even save her. Well, she chose not to. Spoiler alert.
She chose not to be saved, but yeah.
But-
Oh,
See?
yeah.
It's
Could
good.
you stitch to it?
I tried. I think I
Uh-huh.
did when I didn't want to watch scary parts.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
is helpful.
When they were in the court scenes, I could stitch because that's when my rule is if there's a lot of dialogue and
Yes.
you don't have to be looking at the screen,
True.
then, you can stitch to it. And
Yeah.
plus I was working on our wonderful stitch for
The crazy
the
stitch.
crazy stitch. And that's really easy to
Oh,
to
good.
do
'Cause you
while
had
you're
it
stitching.
going.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Because it's like a stitch.
Now you do have to rent this movie or buy it,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yes. $4.
Yeah. I almost bought it.
You almost bought
'Cause I
it.
was like, I love this movie. But I was like, no,
Aw.
I'm not going to watch it more than, a couple times in my lifetime anymore. So
Yeah.
I just rented it.
For my foray into this realm, into the exorcism realm, I'm glad you chose this one because it
Yes.
was an easy one for me to.
It's a little bit
transition
more,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, because
The Exorcist.
exorcisms scare me.
Me too.
Yeah,
It's just creepy. So yeah, The Exorcist, when we get into that.
yeah. Oh goodness. So how many stitches would you give this one?
Oh, they gave it
B.
6.7. I would give it an 8 just because I just love this movie. She does that. I mean, the acting, the storyline, everything, the court case.
It's a good movie. I like the way it's paced. I like the way the story is told. It moves through
Exactly.
everything very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good movie. I don't know if I would watch it
Again.
again, but I mean, it was watchable. I wasn't like annoyed. I did have questions. I'm like, why are they trying the priest? Because that's the part that upset me. Because I'm like, she chose all of this.
Right.
So she was an adult. She chose to stop taking her medications.
And she was taking them while, and it wasn't doing anything.
She
remember?
was taking them, and she didn't believe that they were helping at all. And so she chose to stop taking her medication.
Right.
And she sought counsel from her priest, and her priest was like, if you don't believe the medicine is helping, then you shouldn't be taking it.
Exactly.
Like, but it was ultimately her decision.
Right.
And she chose to have an exorcism rite performed.
Right.
She had to agree to it.
Yeah, because he says he wanted to do it again, but she said
and
no.
she chose not to.
Yeah.
He encouraged her to eat. He encouraged her to drink.
Right.
He encouraged her. But
He had a
ultimately,
doctor there,
she
too.
had control over what she was doing. Theoretically, she had control over what was happening with her body. Because she did
Exactly.
have moments where she was lucid
Right.
and she wasn't, quote unquote, in possession. Right.
Right.
So during those lucid times, she could choose to eat. She could choose to drink.
But
she could
remember
choose.
they said she couldn't even.
She couldn't
Yeah.
because the sound of it was so.
Or she like when she tried to take bites, she couldn't swallow, or she.
Oh
threw it
yeah,
up.
that's
Remember that?
right. That's right. She couldn't swallow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess they could have intubated her and like put a feeding tube in her.
Oh, sure.
Or done all kinds of other things, but I'm sure she would have like ripped
She would have
all
ripped
that
everything out. Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, she had choice over all this. It wasn't like she couldn't care for herself at this point,
Right.
Because she was a full adult.
Exactly.
At this point. So I don't understand why they were prosecuting him.
The negligent.
That made no sense to me.
Yeah, that is a weird
So,
loophole.
Yeah. So that was my big problem with this. I'm like, it doesn't make sense that they're blaming her
Right.
death on
him.
him because he was trying to do what he could for her.
Yeah. But that's
And-
what happened though in real life.
But he was offering her counsel and offering her, see, and in real life, I don't understand that either.
Why they were
Why
charged too.
Annalise Michelle's parents were charged
And the priest.
and the priest were charged with,
Right.
with
negligent
negligence
homicide. Yep.
because she was an adult and
she
was
chose
making her own
Right.
decisions at that point.
Exactly.
So I didn't understand that either.
Interesting though, right?
Yeah.
The only gripe I had
Uh-huh.
was the cinematography at one point.
Oh no.
No,
Wait,
it's
what
cool.
happened?
She was in the classroom, right?
Oh, why was it so dark? There were no lights on in the classroom, right?
Every classroom that I know of is like
bright.
with
'Cause
these
they-
fluorescent lights.
Yeah, because that keeps you awake.
Yes.
It keeps the kids from falling asleep.
Exactly. So it wasn't. I know it was a night class.
I noticed that too.
Yay!
That bothered me too.
Right? I
I'm
know
like,
it's to make
where
that
are the
spooky
lights?
atmosphere, but it had to, like they're writing. I'm like, I would be so mad. I'm like, I can't see.
I know. You can't see in the dark
So,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That
only
upset
like.
me too.
Okay, good. We just because we know we're in college levels, so we know
Yeah.
in education. But yeah, so I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And then and she's wearing like a dress and it's raining outside.
Yeah. No.
I was like, no, she wouldn't be dressed like everyone else has coats and like
Yeah,
sweaters, and
yeah.
she's like sleeveless dress. I'm like,
No,
no,
that's a weird choice.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
There's a couple things like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a great movie.
So you still give it an 8?
Yes, it's entertaining.
I'll go with
Spooky.
the IMD 6.7.
Okay.
It's almost a 7.
Okay.
But I like it
Almost.
was good. Yeah.
But it's not your highest.
No.
Okay,
No.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've come to another amazing end to
Oh
an
my
amazing
gosh.
episode. Amazing end to amazing episode. I'm just trying to say as many amazings as I
Take a
can.
stitch. Take a stitch. Take
so
a
that
stitch.
you take as many stitches as you
You're
want to.
funny.
Oh man. Okay. I'm glad this topic is over. It's very fascinating. It's very interesting. It's hard for me.
I wanted
because
to touch
fully
on it.
believe in
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah.
And
We did it. We got through it like a colonoscopy. See?
Oh,
Full
I
circle,
love it.
everybody.
Full circle. Oh my gosh. I'm going to leave you with that. So until next time, we'll see you, Stitchers.